Thanks for stopping and listening. You know, Yakima Valley is known for its fruits and vegetables, and many times you'll buy apples, and they're from Eastern Washington. In Eastern Washington, I recall growing up, was always very arid and dry. So, how do they produce those apples? Well, glad you asked. It's from the irrigation from the Cascades, the snow melt and water that flows down on the eastern slope, and they actually have a reservoir where they used to anyway, and they would pipe it up along the ridges, and then it would be pumped up and then along the ridges until such time as they got to the place where the pipe would gravity feed it down to the floor and onto the orchards, which allowed them to grow the fruit that they wouldn't be able to grow before without the irrigation. Just didn't have the water to do the type of farming that they at the level they can now. So what's the point? The point is, before we were believers, our lives were arid and dry. Oh yeah, we did things on our own, and we probably could have been very successful. But at least my perspective has been in life that even though things are going on around you and it's difficult, and surely as a believer, there's still been difficult times. But what refreshes your soul is His Spirit, that water that refreshes it. But not just refreshes it for my own sake, but it refreshes and gives me the ability to exercise those gifts, that fruit, by that water through me to help and work with other people, whether it be in ministry, whether it just be in my vocation, or my profession, or whatever it is that you or I are doing, that we're able to do with that irrigation, so to speak. And that irrigation in our lives allows us to produce at a level that we just couldn't produce on our own. And not just at a level, but as an intensity that we couldn't produce on our own, because only He can do that. So how does that refreshing occur? Well, you've got to let the Spirit move through you. You've got to read His Word. You've got to be open to hearing His voice. You've got to be willing to pray and build a relationship. And you've got to be willing to act and move and exercise those gifts that He's given you, whether it be intellectual, whether it be physical, whatever those might be, whatever talent He has given you, and allow that power to flow through you to minister to people and their lives and to touch others with love of Christ. Produce a crop, an abundant one, through the water that He gives you, and He will abundantly.